The Gulf Coast of Florida is home to world-class reef fisheries. Join us on this saltwater sportsman adventure as we head out 80 miles off the coast of Panama City Beach to fish for grouper and snapper with Captain Nguyen of Tailhunter Charters. Joining us on this adventure is Nick with Return 'em Right, who is going to show us how to release reef fish safely back to the depths. Our first stop is to grab some live bait on our way offshore.
Good to see you, buddy. We are dropping these, basically a giant sabiki right here, and we're trying to catch these blue runners. They call them hardtails as well. These are prime bait size too. Yeah, it's not even giant. Oh, it's pissed. Nice head shakes. There we go. Smoked the jig. Was bouncing it on the bottom for a while, very close to the bottom when we got bit. I like the feeling of that fight. Definitely like the feeling. Oh! Oh! Rip and drag down. Woo! Good jig bite is fun, man. Haven't been on a good jig bite in a while. Now that we got them kind of off the bottom, I'm gonna kind of chill out and just kind of straight crank, because you got that heavy jig hanging out of their mouth. And if you're going crazy trying to fight them like a madman, you're just applying more reasons for that jig to come out. So he's off the bottom. I get to chill now. I'm out of the danger zone. There we go. We got a floater. Woo! Look at that gag.
That's a good gag.
Look at that gag.
Ryan just got a nice gag right there.
Wow. These are out of season, aren't they? Yeah. All right. Well, this is perfect for what we got going on today. Smoked it. Look at the size of that gag grouper. That's beautiful. That honestly could be my biggest gag grouper too. That's just an absolute stud, man.
Yeah, when you pull these fish up from deep, you can see the stomach coming out of the mouth. That's from barotrauma. The gases expand in their body and it actually displaces organs. So we're gonna clip this on a sequelizer descending device. Set to release at 150 feet. I had 3 pounds, I quickly put 2 more pounds on. So clip it on the lower jaw. See how you can hold the fish up by that? And you'll see how he's floating there? And then we'll just send him back with that weight. And it'll carry him back down to depth. And once it hits 150 feet, it'll pop off. And he'll recompress on his way down, so all those gases will go back to their normal state, and he'll be good to live.
By the way, guys, this is Nick. You work for Return 'em Right.
So you actually for Florida Sea Grant, Return 'em Right.
Okay. But you actually know what you're talking about when it comes to stuff like that.
But I also am an avid fisherman myself, so we try to take care of the fish we can't keep, so we have more to keep in the future.
Did you get worms back there, dude?
Yeah, it was something small, and then
Something big?
yeah, I think the little thing came off, and then a big thing crushed it. I don't know. I might just have the head now or something. Look how beat up he is. Something big had him in his mouth.
Big gag?
Maybe. Get rid of him or keep him for a live bait?
Yeah, live bait. That's a fish! It's bending his rod.
All right, so I just got a very nice sized triggerfish that I put in the box. I'm telling you right now, this does not feel like a triggerfish. It's trying to take drag. I was bouncing it right off the bottom. I'm assuming it's gonna be a grouper of some species. And Ryan just got that gag. We can't keep gags, they're out of season. You guys already went over that, but if it's a big red, then that'll be good. But like Ryan said, you don't wanna go crazy. Just kind of reel them up. We're 230 feet.
You better catch up, Rich.
Let's see what happens. What you got?
Ryan's hooked up.
I'm tight on something. In the background, just staying tight.
This ain't too bad.
Doubled up,
This
boy.
ain't too bad. Going slow and steady with them. Don't want to go crazy.
Come on in. We got some type of critter. That's definitely Brent's fish, whatever that is. Mine's down in the depths.
Yep, starting to get color down there.
Yep, there's color.
Is that another giant trigger? foul hook?
It is, yeah.
Yep.
That's
Trigger king.
It feels like I'm pulling up a trash can lid.
Trigger king over here.
Oh, don't worry, I'm feeding the families out here today.
Big trigger. Oh! Blowout, dude.
Hey, trigger!
Big trigger fisherman over here. Check this out. That's a big old trigger fish. He's not happy to see us, but we're happy to see him. These are actually very delicious fish. It's just, some people turn their nose up at them because they're actually a little bit harder to clean. If you guys were able to feel this skin right here, pulling back on it, it's almost like sandpaper. It's real rough once you get that slime off of it. The coolest thing about these fish, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, I'm forcing really, really hard on this thing. Can't move it, it's stuck. But if I press this thing, it's a little trigger and it'll pull down that fin. This guy's delicious. He's a little blown up from barotrauma, but unfortunately for him, we're not returning him with the return him right gear. We're keeping this guy for dinner.
Nick is hooked up. Looks like a good fish, Nick.
Yeah. Most of them feel good pulling up from
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not really dogging me down. I don't know what it is.
Oh, hooked it up.
These triggers are wild.
He might made it.
Ooh, you hear that?
Oh yeah.
So that's all expanded gas in their body. They actually released some of it, but yeah, that's a beautiful trigger. They experience barotrauma as well. They do a pretty good job of, once they get down, surviving better, but beautiful fish. I think we'll keep this one, throw it in the box.
If you wanted to release this fish, would you vent or slow descend?
Yeah, you could do either. These ones, since they're kind of more torpedo shaped, if you vent them and get that gas in, they're pretty good at going down. So if you vent them quick and get them back in the water, they do pretty well. Or you can hook a descender on there and send them down. But this one's going in the box. We like to either put them on ice or use the device. A lot of these offshore fish that you pull up from deep experience barotrauma. The gases expand in their body, they become bloated, and they are unable to swim down on their own. So if you release them, they'll often float off on the surface and die unless you vent them or descend them or do something to help them survive. So we're out here catching fish, keeping fish, releasing fish, but we're making sure we take care of the fish we have to release.
Yep. Rich, what you got, buddy?
Something small again. Nothing too crazy. They're really being feisty today. Yeah. Yeah, I got it on the vibe. Look at that, guys. Oh, so this trigger is suffering from a little barotrauma, but this one is a keeper, so we're gonna throw him on the ice.
Coming up over the rails.
All right, so we got this AJ here on a live bait. Nice fish. They do get barotrauma too, but this one looks pretty good, so we're just gonna get it back in the water quick. Whoa. Down he goes.
Here, they call them hardtails. A little blue runner. I'm gonna drop this down as a live bait. See what we can get. I'm gonna take this guy, circle hook through the nose. Circle hooks are essential. They will typically get the fish in the corner of the mouth, and it is now required in the Gulf to use circle hooks. So there it goes. Drop in the water. Drop down. We got about 12 ounces of lead on here. And Captain Nguyen will use his electrics a lot of the time. Big gear, you know, big heavy bent butt. I'm gonna see if I can't get worked on the hand crank rod, the stand-up gear.
Nick
Another
over here.
big trigger. Got that one in the mouth, which is always a bonus on the octopus jig. We'll have to check if we have our boat limit or not, but it's either going on ice or we'll send him home.
Hooked up on the live bait. Oh, Rich didn't work too. Doubled up, buddy.
There he goes.
Oh, mine's rip and drag too. You can't hear it as much. This is a strong fish. We got lock drag on him. Kind of got a pier rod. Kind of got like an 8-foot. I just needed a stiffer bottom rod for today. I pulled out one of my.
Oh man, this fish is screaming drag, and there's not.
I don't know who to film over here.
I'll do my tuna stance.
There you go.
Get that knee leverage. Gain that line back. I just got to get him out of the danger zone, man. He's been taking so much line. Get him higher in the water column so he's away from stuff that he can break me off on.
Especially if they come up
from underneath it.
Woo! The thump was cool. That was like I was snook fishing. You just literally, I feel the bait freaking out. Boom!
Checking in with Rich.
My arm's getting a little tired. I think we might have a grouper on here. It was an extremely light bite, and I'm just fishing with a little Nomad 5, and it's only like probably an ounce and a half, but because it's a really small profile and doesn't have a lot of drag, and on a beautiful calm day like this, we just drop it down and luckily get it to the bottom in 230 feet of water.
Giant!
Oh, I might be on you.
Oh, you are.
Another trigger.
Oh no, is that what I have? I have a trigger again.
Yeah, I got a fish on too.
Oh, you got one too?
Yeah. What's that hook? That hook's on the line.
Looks like
You got an AJ.
AJ, yeah.
Big AJ circling down there. Hauling the reef donkeys. There we go. That's not even that big of an AJ, but these guys really fight for their size. He choked that blue runner down, gave me a good fight, and luckily with these guys, they don't get barotrauma as bad as the grouper, so we actually don't even have to use the descending tool to get him down. He's gonna be good on his own, but ton of fun. Scott, what are the seasons for AJs right now?
It usually opens up in May, but this year it's not opening up until September with gags.
Gotcha. Okay, so they're closed too. A lot of people don't even keep them because they tend to get wormy sometimes, but a one this size, I would typically eat if they were in season. It's a nice fish. They're a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, so this guy might be good, but he doesn't have any air in him. See how it's soft here? I don't feel any air in there, so he's
No
probably
tension?
good to go.
All right.
They can actually burp out some air, so they have something called off-gassing with these ones. So yeah, he shot straight down, but amberjack can sometimes off-gas and get some of that air out on their own, unlike a lot of the snapper grouper.
You know, this is making up for not going to the gym for a while. Let's click that in, make it. Oh, Ryan's on a good one too.
Double up.
Oh, rip and drag too, son. Big hit on the bottom. I like that. I like it when it's right on the bottom, man. Typically, if you're getting them right down there, straight on the bottom, you have the chance that it's going to be a real nice grouper. So we'll see what this ends up being.
Dig.
Oh, beautiful.
There we go. Nice gag right there.
Yeah. So right there, that is a good sized gag grouper. If I had to guess, probably around 33, 34 inches. Right there on the jig. Got him with both the hooks right there. He smoked it.
He's floating there, so if we were to just release him on the surface, he would float off and die. So we have him hooked up on the descending device, and we're just gonna lower him down here. And so this weight will carry him down to the bottom, and once it hits 150 feet, it'll pop off. All those gases will recompress naturally, and he'll be good to go. Perfect.
That's what you wanted.
Okay, Rich. Rich is over here playing with some fish.
Yeah. It happened again where I had a small fish eat the lure, and I'm reeling him up, and then something big ate him.
Keep that shark occupied for me.
I'll try my best.
What were you throwing, Rich?
I was just throwing a little Nomad 5, and it's only an ounce and a half, but because it's so calm and I'm using really light braid,
Hooked up, double
Up
up.
again.
I can get it down to the bottom in a couple hundred feet of water.
Doing the dance.
Doing the dance. Normally doesn't work with bottom fishing. Normally you just tangle yourself more.
Obviously having an electric reel to do it, firing yourself off.
Felt like a grouper at first. Now it's actually fighting, so it just might be a small.
Really feeling the Florida heat now.
Will you stop playing with this fish and get it up?
Trying my best. Oh, we got color now.
Deep color.
Oh, no way.
Yep. That's a good one too.
African pompano?
Yep, that's a huge one.
That's my first one ever.
Yeah! Woo! Holy cow!
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That is awesome.
Why didn't we make a category for that? All right, guys. My first ever African pompano on just this little nomad vibe. And we're just gonna, oh, we got the pliers here. We're just gonna pop it out right there. And I got the 60-pound boga. So we'll get a quick weight on her. 20 pound. Like 24 and a half.
Oh!
Ryan was the closest, right? What'd you guess, 24, right?
Yeah.
All right,
I did weigh.
let me get this beautiful
29
fish
pounds
up
myself.
for a closer look there.
Bad.
I've been dreaming of catching a fish like this, and it's crazy to just get one by surprise like that. It's so cool. Whew. And they're great eating, I guess?
They're delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. They're one of the best fish to eat.
So I'm excited. Whew. My arms are shot, but
I think
I'm ready
Rich
to catch
is
some
going
more
to do
fish.
a catch and cook today.
Woo. Let's do. Oh, so now I'm the chef too.
That's right.
Everything in between.
I'll do it.
Just like
Little chunks of them.
You got yourself a bonita. There he goes. Freaking out on you. He saw the boat.
Coming for everyone's lines.
Nick,
Got charged?
what's going on?
All this for a
Yours is
bonita.
going out.
It's a bonita.
It's a bonita, yeah. Holy cow, Ryan's hooked up.
yeah, man. Staying tight all the time. Stay tight on Tailhunter Charters. No breaks.
My fish is in the bottom. Got him out. Got him out. Oh. The technique worked. Loosening up.
Oh,
I lost him.
heartbreaker.
I think he broke me off.
You know, we came out here for big grouper, right? We don't have a big grouper in the box yet, so we're looking for big reds. You know, a really big scamp, like an 8 to 10 pound scamp would be dope. And then hopefully in the afternoon, maybe find some tuna or something else. But that African pompano that Rich caught is what I want to catch right now, more so than anything.
I thought it was going to be it.
So this is a beautiful little scamp grouper. These are one of the best eating fish in the ocean. See that yellow mouth? It's almost a sea trout-like. He's got his little teeth to just hold on to fish. But look at the marbling on these guys. And they don't get a true broomtail like the South American species, but they definitely have an interesting looking tail. Very broom-like. Beautiful little fish, man. Gorgeous. Y'all, the initial pull on this thing was aggressive. Now, oh, it's fighting a little bit now. It was started coming up really, really quick. I'm getting tired hand cranking, man. I'm getting bicep cramps over here. Whew. Just straight whining, steady tension, bringing him up to the surface. Hopefully he starts floating soon. That means it's a big grouper. Oh, big American red.
Ah,
Venting. What is it? Look at that. Beautiful American red snapper, man. These things are very amberjack-like in the way that they fight. Because they fight you almost all the way up. This fish never really started floating. His belly was completely out of his mouth when we brought him up here, and he's already started to compensate a little bit, which is good. It's going to make sure that, you know, he gets back down and gets released, because unfortunately, as much as I'd like to eat this guy, they are out of season right now. Gotta let them go. These are heavily protected fish. You only get a short season to keep these guys. So gonna get this guy back down with the descending device. Bam. All right, Captain Scott is gonna vent him. So right there, right behind that pectoral fin. Bam. I don't know if you guys heard that, but he just deflated. All that air came out. Those venting tools are very, very easy to use. Now he's able to compensate, and let's watch him. Whoa, see that? He was very docile until we got that air out of him. Then he just flopped right out of my hands, back down to the depths to be caught another day.
All right, guys, if you're headed offshore, you're fishing in depths over 50 feet, you want to be prepared to get those floaters back down, whether it's with venting tools. So this is a commercially available venting tool, or using descending device is often safer. There's lots of options, inverted hook styles, lip grip styles. This is a fish shaver, Roy's fish shaver. This is Shelton's fish descender, and this is a sequelizer device that you simply pop on the lower jaw of the fish and it releases based on pressure. You'll see we use those a bunch today. These are all great options to mitigate barotrauma. They're all available to you, or you could make both these yourself at home too. So if you're headed offshore, be prepared and help those floaters get back down so we can catch them again in the future.
what'd you get, Brent?
Got a nice size scamp grouper right here. These things are apparently delicious. I've never had one before, but all the guys are really excited when we're pulling these up, so he's going right there in the box.
Dropped down to a smaller size bait, live cigar minnow. It was on the bottom for a little bit of time. Felt it get picked up. Didn't think it was gonna be as big of a fish. This thing's pulling pretty good, man. No complaints. But you know, when I put the knee up on the gunnel to get better leverage with this rod, it's gonna be a bigger fish.
Nice red.
Big fatty. See that belly? Again, trying to compensate for that pressure change. It's sticking out, but we're gonna get him right. We're gonna get him down back on the bottom, swimming around. Hopefully be caught when it's season and we can bring one of these guys home for dinner. There we go. So we're clipped into the sending tool. Bam. Drop him back down.
Slowly going down.
Excellent.
There we go. So that's a 3-pound weight and 17-pound fish.
And if we didn't hook that fish onto that weight and we just like put him in the water, he'd just float there.
Yeah.
He'd be half alive floating and then he would end up dying.
And we're in what, 350 feet?
Yep.
So this is actually a deep water sequelizer, so I have that set to release at 300 feet. So we're gonna get him almost all the way back to where you caught him, which is great. And then it'll pop open, release him.
Excellent.
So we are here at spot number like 4 or 5 on the day. We already got a cooler full of fish. I'll pop that open for you guys right here. You'll see the scamps on top. We got a little African pompano right there. We got a bigger one underneath. We already got our limited triggerfish as well. So we already got a good looking box, but we're still looking for some more, maybe some red grouper. I think we were talking about going, trying to get some red grouper a little bit later and a little bit shallower water, but we're just seeing what we can get. It's a beautiful day out here, as you can see. And now we're in, I think I just checked, it's 330 feet of water. So we got people dropping jigs, we got people dropping live bait. We're just gonna see what we can get. Good scamp, Nick.
Woo!
There we go. That's what we're looking for. Oh yeah.
Beautiful fish.
That stomach coming out of the mouth. Circle hook right in the corner. And good eating, so we're throwing him in the box.
All right, hooked up on a big mysterious fish here on a blue runner. I was fishing with the little cigar minnows, but they kept getting stripped off the hook. So I figured, you know what, let's go big or go home, like you said, Phil. So I threw that blue runner down there, and it wasn't more than 5 minutes, and something munched them. And I'm hoping it's a red snapper, because I've never caught one before, but I'll really be happy with whatever it is, because it's pulling hard, giving me a good fight.
You're first.
Woo! Red snapper. All right, guys, there you have it. My first ever red snapper. And this fish is suffering a little bit from some barotrauma. You can see right there, maybe inside its mouth, and you can also hear the air trying to escape. So Nick from Return 'em Right is gonna show us how to use the descending device to get it down to the proper depth where I caught it, and then the descending device opens and then releases and decompresses the fish and lets him swim away. So
Talk to me, Ryan.
We are hooked on the blue runner bait. Big hook up on the bottom. Big, heavy fish, man. Put a real bend in the rod. Tough to get cranks in, but I try and gain line as much as I can and as fast as I can, because there's always predators down there that want these grouper just as much as I do. And we don't know what this is. Could be a big jack, could be, you know, AJ, something like that, but always try and treat it like it's that fish you really want. I'm getting tired, man. We've been catching some fish this trip. My arms are getting sore.
the big shark following it up.
Oh no.
It might be a black.
Look at that.
That was that big grouper you want. Look, just the head is 21 pounds, 20 pounds.
20-pound head? Are you kidding me?
All right, that's the biggest one.
That literally would have been my biggest grouper of any, I mean, not including Goliaths of all time. That's heartbreaking. And you know, like, we wouldn't have been able to keep this fish. Definitely would have liked to release him, but that's the reality of when you're out here bottom fishing, or when you're just out offshore fishing. There's always a food chain. There's always sharks. There's always something that's gonna want these things like you do. Man, that sucks. Oh, that would have been such a big fish. Oh, heartbreaking, man. Heartbreaking.
All right, we just made a run about 20 miles in, a little shallower. How deep are we right here?
Still about 200.
Okay, about 200, but this is apparently more of a red grouper spot, so we're gonna see if we can get on some of those. They're in season right now. You just need to be 20 inches, so we're dropping jigs, we're dropping bait. Let's see what happens.
So that is another really big American red, came up, and you can see if you look at the scales, the whole fish is really, really bulging because it's fighting to compensate for that pressure change. See that big belly sticking out of its mouth? Crazy looking, man. So we're gonna use a different venting device.
A different descending device.
Yeah.
So this one, since the stomach's coming out, you can just go in the mouth, then you out the soft tissue, and you can kind of hold them up with that device. And the key to this one is you just got to make sure the weight goes down first. So see how that's rigged? And then what you'll do is once it's on the surface here, that weight, once you just let it drop, will send them down.
Dude, you earned it.
Absolutely
You earned it.
right
Hold them
there.
up. Let me see that thing.
Well, that is
Woo!
definitely my biggest red grouper I've ever caught right there.
Red grouper there. Basically crushing that little artificial. As soon as it gets to the bottom, I don't even have to jig it to work it to give it any action. They're just hitting it on the drop. Pretty cool.
I would tell you to talk to me, but
I can't talk.
Gag King over here.
This one came in whole. I'd really like to take this guy home, but the season is only September to December now, correct? Wow, that's a short season. This is a beautiful fish. Super fun, obviously fight hard. I don't know if he's gonna show us for you guys. You can see those teeth in there. Definitely a big predator down there on the reef. Beautiful fish. If you look at that marbling, man, what's not to like about that? That is just a gorgeous animal. Very appreciative of this fish. And saw me fight like an absolute madman. And that's because we had two fish get sharked, two big fish, and trying to catch big red grouper. There's plenty of red grouper down there, but these are going to be a bycatch, whether you like it or not. So try and treat this fish right. We're going to get him back, return him the right way, and get him down.
Okay, you want me to do it? All right, so we got 5 pounds of weight on there. Clip that on. That's on there good. And 5 pounds should be plenty to get that gag down. Ready? Yep. And see it's floating. Down it goes.
Free dive.
Yeah, he's kicking too. We're gonna keep going with him all the way though. Then once it gets down to 150 feet, pop off and he's free to go. We're fishing in about 200, so. But he kicked pretty good, so we're confident he's gonna make it. We're all about being a resource for anglers, making sure they know how to release fish, whether it's venting properly or descending fish if they're suffering from barotrauma. When you pull them up from deep, they'll float off. So we want to eliminate waste in the fishery, or at least reduce it the best we can. So you got training online, only takes 15 minutes, and you get free gear if you fish in the Gulf of Mexico for reef fish. And yeah, we're here to be a resource to help save fish for the future.
So as you can see,
while we were filming the closing.
Yeah, while we were filming the closing of that little talk about return 'em right, as you can tell, he's a fisherman. He knows what he's doing. He's got something on right here. What'd you drop down?
This was a blue runner, or a hardtail as they call them up here.
Yep.
So we'll see what it is.
Could be a grouper, could be a snapper. We'll find out.
Stay tuned. We're in about 200 feet.
Red grouper.
Oh, nice red grouper.
Yeah.
While we're filming the closing, we get to keep a red grouper. Look at that. One last one for the box. It's a heck of a day offshore.
Fish on mine.
All right, thank you, Captain Nguyen. That was a great day out there. We got a lot of fish on the jig and on live bait. And if you guys want to check out or book a charter with him, we'll have the link down in the description to his website. You guys should definitely check him out. He knows what he's doing out here. He'll get you on some fish no matter what.